वयम भारतस्य जनाः। हम भारत के लोग, हम हिंद की आवाम। We the people of India. We the people of India.
The words which lead us into the longest constitution in the world.
We the people of India.
The words which define a nation, a country, and its citizen.
We the people of India.
The Preamble, discussed, debated, and amended. To some, it is the beginning of a glorious book. To others, it is a set of principles to live life by.
The constitution of our country is probably one of the most beautiful documents. And just in the preamble, I think the spirit of the people of this land is encapsulated so beautifully.
The preamble really is your goalpost, right? It is the core values of the constitution, values like liberty, values like equality, fraternity. It's really the signage of the constitution.
The preamble is in a sense the vision of our founders of the Constitution and the founders of a sovereign democratic republic, how they saw the idea of India.
This is our identity as Indians, because it gives us immense pride to know that we have adopted a constitution, the preamble of which gives us so many rights and gives us the dignity as an individual.
The preamble represents what we today describe more and more as constitutional morality.
Preamble is not a document of policy. It's a document that tells us what is the essence of the Constitution. What are the fundamental things in the Constitution that we treasure, that defines everything else in the Constitution?
It reflects, I think, an imagination of the kind of country that we the people of India resolve to build, and the kind of government that we expect to have.
And it's actually, in its simplicity, in its power, it's also actually fairly detailed.
Irrespective of whichever race, creed, caste, whatever religion you may be from, we are all together bound by a single thread called the Constitution. We all are Indians and we the people. So as a group, we are powerful.
Concepts of liberty, equality, fraternity stem from the preamble. So in that sense, the preamble is at the very heart of the vision of our constitution makers.
So the preamble really is, in some ways, it is a crystallization of who we are and where we're meant to be and what we're meant to become as a people, as a nation. What is the commitment that we made to each other?
I think that is our Quran, that is our Bible, that is our Bhagavad Gita.
We the people of India. Having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic.
People have argued that the word socialist was not there in the first preamble. It was included much later during the emergency. Yes, the word was not there. But if we read the Constitution, if we read what we are giving ourselves in the Constitution, the spirit of being socialistic has always been there in the Constitution. Let's not forget that the Morarji Desai government that came after the emergency did not remove the word socialist, which was added during emergency, because everybody knew that this land is a land of socialism. And what is socialism? Socialism is saying taking care of people. It says that the government should take care of people. Just listen to what Ashoka, who was then the monarch of this land, said. He said all his subjects were his children. He didn't differentiate. And when he says children, he always also meant that he takes care of the children. This is a country that took care of its people. Therefore, socialism is in our breath. It's in our philosophy. It is in every religion that inhabits this land. Therefore, for me, socialism is a natural state of a human being. I can't imagine us being empathetic human beings if we don't have socialism in our spirit. I can't imagine a Buddha. I can't imagine a Mahavira. I can't imagine a prophet. I can't imagine a Jesus. I can't imagine any of these people. And I cannot imagine Shankara. Because what were they all saying? They were saying we need to take care of people. And that's the essence of socialism. And to me, it is India. It is the most beautiful thing about India. And I don't even see where there can be an argument. If you want to be a good human being, you have to be socialistic in your spirit.
We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic.
I've looked very carefully at the words, and the idea of secularism was so central to much of the constitution, and we need to recognize that the constitution was written in the wake of the partition. It is often said that secularism is an idea that has brought into India from the West, which to my mind doesn't, if it was, it doesn't make it any less legitimate. However, this is not an unlimited freedom. The freedom to practice my religion and my beliefs and my way of life is preserved and defended in the Constitution, however small a minority I am, but this is not unlimited, except that the limits are not set by the majoritarian culture of beliefs, but it is set by constitutional morality. And so in some ways it is I would argue the central idea of our republic, of the Constitution, which is secularism as understood in this way.
We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic.
To my mind, the word republic in a sense reflects the commitment to ensuring that the public, this large, wide citizenry who are being given rights by the Constitution, would in a sense be determining the shape of government and governance, that they would be part of the process of democracy, and those elected would be accountable in a sense to the public. So by calling us a sovereign, democratic, secular republic, I think that word republic gave us a sense that we had finally shed the long years of colonial rule, and that the people of India were now finally liberated. So I think republic in a sense gives the Indian a sense of citizenry and a feeling that he or she is a participant in the process of democracy, which was very different from the colonial rule, when at the end of the day we were not equal citizens.
And to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political.
Just, when people speak of justice, sometimes they think of courts. Very often they think of courts.
Let's not forget, before equality, fraternity and liberty, all these three words, we first used the word justice. And I think that's so important. That is India's gift to the world.
But what justice is here, it's economic, social and political.
Justice also means equity. It means we will make sure that the person who is suffering is given a helping hand.
So, and when Dr. Ambedkar was looking at the initial resolution, which spoke of this, which was the first draft really, he was quite disappointed. And he said that, look, this should be something that is much more far-reaching. I mean, I can't imagine justice that is not socialist, for example. When we think of economic, social, and political justice, we are not just looking at a limited vision of fundamental rights.
And in the word justice, we have also gifted ourselves equity.
This sort of large idea of justice, I think, that can power our country going forward, being the basis of a new democracy, is a possibility, I think, that's quite exciting.
Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Equality of status and of opportunity.
Dr. Ambedkar, chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution, has this wonderful passage where in the Constituent Assembly he says that these three core ideas, liberty, equality and fraternity, are a trinity, right? That if you only had liberty, it would mean opportunities for just a few. So liberty without equality means it prefers only a few. It is equality that democratizes and brings in egalitarianism into liberty. And it is fraternity that binds us all together. And why is this important? Because, prior to the Constitution being adopted, we were a land divided by caste, divided by religion, gender, and obviously, torn apart by colonization. And that with the adoption of the Constitution, you recognize that, one, it is unconstitutional to have historical discrimination. That may have been accepted, like caste, for instance. It is unconstitutional to discriminate on grounds of religion, which may have been accepted in the past, but now it's unconstitutional. And it is a constitutional expectation that we will be a fraternal nation, that there is a brotherhood and a sisterhood amongst citizens. That is not just tolerance, right? It is an equal respect. I respect your dignity. I respect your faith. I respect your right to expression. I respect, therefore, your liberty, and I understand and appreciate your equality.
Promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation.
The word fraternity means brotherhood. You can take it as a generic term and include sisterhood and everything in it. So it just means that all of us are one, irrespective of our religion, of our class, of our caste or creed or whatever culture we belong to. And this emphasizes something which I have studied as a child and which I taught also as a teacher, India's unity in diversity. Because we are a diverse country and we have so many communities and so many cultures, and we are all bound together by this one single thread of belonging, which is as an Indian. So the fraternity guarantees that freedom of right, not just the freedom, the right to follow your own cultural practices and your religion and spontaneously interact and join in with others. That for me is fraternity.
We, the people of India,
having solemnly resolved
to constitute India into a sovereign,
socialist,
secular,
democratic republic,
and to secure to all its citizens
justice,
social,
economic and
political
liberty
of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship,
equality of status and of opportunity,
and to promote among them all fraternity,
assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation.
In our Constituent Assembly,
this 26th day of November 1949,
do hereby adopt, enact,
and give to ourselves
this Constitution.